Alright guys, TFSR here. We are going to review this week Horus FX. Over the last week, I was asked a few times to review Horus FX, and apparently a lot of people are subscribed to them, so I decided to give them a go and take a look at them and see how they do things. If you're not familiar with my channel, every single week I will subscribe to a Forex signal provider out there, and I will tell you how my experience went. The goal of this is obviously to show you the signal provider's products, how they do things, how it is for me, and if you should or not subscribe to them. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. It would help my channel to grow, and then I could show my shenanigans and my stories to more people. And you know, if the companies are good, it's even free advertisement for them. So let's get going. Quite simply, they are this Telegram signal provider, just one more of those. And funny thing though is that they are the same company as Pipsmaster, which I've already reviewed. I'm gonna put the link in the description below, and Rocket Signals as well. All three of them are the same company. This whole concept of having several companies doing the same thing is called dual line trading. Dual line trading is a pattern where you're going to have, let's say, company A, company B, and company C. They will send one signal on company A, wait for it to play out. Then they're going to send one signal on company B, wait for it to play out. Then they will send one signal on company C and wait for it to play out as well. There will be three companies, no one knows they're the same owner, and 3 times the membership. That's an easy way to make more revenues out of membership, right? Then what happens is, let's say company A was wrong. They're never going to talk about the stop loss being hit. That's what all 3 of those companies do, and I can guarantee you that's exactly what they do. And then company B will have wins because company B went the opposite way of company A. And company B will advertise their win and say, well, enjoy the free money. You guys made money with us. This is amazing. And then company C will do pretty much the same thing depending on what happened, right? This is called dual line trading. They're going to go into different directions, and they're only going to advertise only the winning part of it because it attracts more customers that way. You will never advertise your losses, right? That's exactly what they do. They only advertise their wins because obviously that's what attracts more customers. This is a very bad way to do things, and I dislike it. And that's the thing. It's going to be a very easy way to multiply the income you're going to make with membership. Is it immoral? I think so personally. And let me show you exactly what they do. The first thing you need to do is to create a Telegram channel, which is completely free, takes just a few seconds. Then you're going to create a free logo, which I'll do right now and show you how they created theirs in just a minute. Then create multiple companies like that, have them go against each other's directions and advertise only the wins on each and mute the losses. That is Horus FX, Pipsmaster, and Rocket Signals for you, and most likely other companies which I have yet to find, but of course I will, and I will review them. First thing that's gonna go. All right, here we go. Start your logo. Well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna select something called, do use cookies, I will allow. All right, insurance or finances, finance and insurance right here. Then you're gonna type Horus FX, company tagline optional, new, make a logo. Let's make a logo. Choose a design. Already the first logo that's gonna pop right here is exactly the same one they've used. So we're gonna go into create your own logo or create icon. Yeah, logo right here. And we're gonna go with serif as a font. And we're gonna go into icon above. And then we're going to see our wonderful logo right here. Horus FX, exactly the same one that they are using into Telegram. That's exactly how they created their logo. This should tell you how professional they are if they use a very free website to create their logo. But then that's the funny thing, is that even if they want to have this logo, right, they cannot buy it unless they actually buy it. They cannot use it, right? Look at the background here. You cannot use this, and there's a reason for that, is because the website is protecting itself against people stealing logos. So let's say you want to save this logo, you want to preview it, well, you're going to have this, so they have to buy it, right? Look, can you notice how good the resolution is on this versus how it is bad on Telegram for Horus FX? There's a reason for that, because they have used this part right here, and they have simply zoomed in, screenshotted this, so we don't see anything underneath, and then that's what they're using on Telegram because that's how they do it. Now, something that is good about them, however, is that it is completely free. I didn't see any offer, any upsell for anything Signal related. They don't offer anything premium or anything like that. So it is completely free. So that is a thumbs up for me. I mean, if you want to go in there and just check them out and try it on demo for a while before actually moving to live, you can go right ahead and do it. It's completely free. There's just no risk unless you actually risk your own money, which I obviously don't recommend doing. You should learn how to trade instead of relying on signal providers all the time, especially those that are basically the same signal provider for 3 companies. How are the signals though? Because obviously this is why you guys are watching this video. I just thought it was important to highlight the way they're doing things. Alright, so EuroCAD was the very first signal I received here. There's about 100 pips stop loss for 200 pips take profit, around 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. No charts, however, except this little thing that was sent afterwards of like a box or something here that I say we can see daily chart. That price is forming a rectangle chartist pattern, so we are expecting that it's retest again the low zone around 150, which it did not do. It was actually, it did hit stop loss. Yeah, you can see it hit stop loss, obviously, because you know it's the same thing as Pips Master, which I've reviewed. Go check it out. They don't mention stop losses being hit because you know it's more attractive to customers if they only see wins, right? It's not honest, but it's more attractive. And then you can walk around and say that you have 85% success rate because people are not going to see when you said, well, sorry, we hit stop loss, you know? They're not going to go into detail as well and go look at every single chart when you sent a signal to see if it actually hit stop losses and you've never mentioned it, right? They're not going to go through the hassle of doing this manually, where I will. The next signal was a buy for GBP/AUD at 1.80120 with a stop loss of around 110 pips for a take profit of around 234 pips, just over 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. No chart again because, of course, no chart. But same screenshots as Pips Master for a 10 lot size and starting profit instead of, you know, starting to profit or profit starting. That signal went pretty well, but we did suffer massive drawdown, massive drawdown. We held this for 2 days all the way up to the 24th of June, and then we were asked to close it at around 70 pips profit, but we did go almost 100 pips in drawdown here. That was really bad. If you were unlucky and had wider spreads due to your broker or rollover, you might have had stop loss hit on that one. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for closing trades earlier to protect your positions. That's not a problem. What annoys me though is that if you have stop losses hit on the other hand, first of all, you don't talk about it obviously, but if you do stop losses hit, there's no way you're going to be profitable by just closing trades early because only one stop loss is going to outweigh all those partial wins that you're taking and closing early. So it looks amazing on Telegram when you say, well, close here 70 pips, close here 40 pips, close here 30, close here 50, enjoy the money, it's amazing, we're the best. When in reality there are stop losses being hit behind the scenes, but you never mention them. That's why you have to read into the numbers. Now, let's pretend you have risked 3% on every single trade so far this week. First one hit stop loss, so you're minus 3%. Then this one went around a third into profits. So if you were risking, let's say 3% for a stop loss, that means if your take profit was hit, because it's a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, you would have gained, technically speaking, 6% account increase on that single trade. Since you went only 1/3 of the way all the way up here, you gained only 2%. So you're still down, even though you had one profitable and one stop loss being hit, which of course was not mentioned. So you see what I mean? You cannot be profitable in the long term if there are stop losses being hit. However, what can happen is that if there are no stop losses being hit, and if the trades are consistently accurate without stop losses being hit, then you can be accurate and you can be profitable, of course. But it's not going to happen in this case, because stop losses are being hit, but they're never mentioned. The next signal was a sell for GBP/USD at 1.24760 with a stop loss of 69 pips and a take profit of 166. That's just over 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, with of course no charts again. This signal went a pip away from stop loss, and of course it was never mentioned again because very likely people had their stop loss hit. I know I did, and I'm pretty sure they did as well. That's exactly why they have not mentioned it anymore. This GBP USD sell was never mentioned for the rest of the week because, of course, stop loss was hit. Just like EuroCAD was hit, they don't mention stop losses. The next signal was a buy for GBP CAD at 1.69150 and a stop loss of 65 pips for a take profit of 185. Just around 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, which is better, but just under. No chart, of course, no nothing, but an amazing screenshot of 10 lots used, and of course profits shown with dollars because, again, it looks great on surface. At around 40 pips in profits, we were asked to close half of our position and move stop loss to entry. I do appreciate that. It means that he's actually following up the trades and saying, well, okay, you should probably move stop loss to entry point, which kind of protects you against losses, which were plenty this week. But of course, the only screenshots of his account, if it's demo or live, nobody knows, but the only screenshot of his account he's going to show will be the wins, right? Doesn't show the losses, which of course were plentiful this week and were definitely outweighing the wins. The next signal was a buy for GBP JPY at 133.050 with a stop loss of 95 pips and a take profit of 195 pips. That's around 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, and of course, no charts. Stop loss was hit, and again, not mentioned because of course not. Why would they mention it, right? It is so infuriating that they don't mention stop losses when they are hit, because they know exactly that if people go into their channel and try and subscribe and just look and see what kind of results they have, if they scroll up and look in the past and they see stop losses being hit whenever they are hit, which is really this week more often than not, they will not join the channel. That's the whole point, right? If you don't show your losses, people are not gonna see your losses, right? So they're not gonna go look and find your losses. But I will, and I'm going through the numbers for you guys, and I want you to see it. Stop loss was definitely hit, never to be mentioned again, and that's what most of those signal providers out there do, especially those 3 guys. So Horus FX, Pips Master, and Rocket Signals, all 3 of them, same company, same kind of principle, same way to do things. It is infuriating that they can actually do this service and nobody calls them out on it, which is what I'm doing now. The very last signal of the week was USD CAD. That was on Friday, and you know what? I decided not to even take it anymore because I was so fed up with the way they did things and how dishonest they were that I decided not to take it. And of course, it seems like it was profitable, good for them. I don't care anymore. I decided not to take it because they have shown me their true colors and exactly how they do things, and I will have no part in that anymore. I am done with them, and I decided not to take the signal. If anybody of you are in there and took the signal and made profits on it, good for you. I'm really happy, but I am done with Horus FX. As far as I'm concerned, it is disgraceful that they hide so much of what is actually happening behind the scenes and in the signals that they actually provide. The only positive part about it, I would say, is that it is free, so be very careful if you do sign up, because yes, it is free, so you don't lose any money, but you might, well, at least this week, you would lose money if you were to be with them. Despite the fact that they are free, the signal hopefully will never become paid because it is definitely not worth a single penny in my opinion. Yes, it is only this week, so of course, if it's just this week of a bad trading, it's fine, but the point is so much greater than the fact that they have stop loss hit. The point is that they don't mention it. People enter those trades thinking those guys know what they're doing, but they simply don't update you, and then whenever stop loss is hit, you never hear about it again. And of course, there is no one to talk to. You don't have any members room, you don't have any admin you can contact or anything, because it's a free signal service. So you don't have anybody to talk to and say, hey, like, did it hit stop loss for you too? Because it hit for me, or what should we do? Like, should we keep holding or anything? Most people joining those kind of services have no idea what to do whenever they are in losses, and it should be your responsibility, Horus, to guide those people with constant updates, even if it plays against you. It is absolutely disgraceful that you don't give a shit about your members so much that you're not even going to cover whenever your trades go against you. And this is absolutely infuriating, and I am so upset at them right now. Please be careful if you do join them. Again, it's just this week, but it does show me their true colors of how they hide stuff when it goes against them. Please be careful. Hope you enjoyed this review. That's it for me, and on to the next one this week. Cheers guys, and thank you for watching.